there is smoke. A lot of smoke, and I came out here because there's an object lighting up in our skies, and it's giving off a lot of green. I seen a lot of green. See the green? Green, red, blue, gray, white, aqua, purple, lime green, just all the different colors. We have an object up here in our skies. This is Laura Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society, your founder, filming this. Tonight, this object's over the Sierra foothills. It's February of 2014, and the object is finally returned. It's been, since I filmed it, a very strange object on the 3rd. I hadn't seen anything in the skies till tonight, until Jared had pointed it out. I'm sure there's other people on our street that notice this object. I mean, I see other sky watchers. There's people standing out there looking up. The object kind of looks diamond from far away. Whoa, it's lost its color. As much as I'd like to say, someone told me it's Maitreya's star, but when I've studied those objects online, I found that my object doesn't resemble that in any case. 3rd, I filmed a mothership because I seen a small object eject from it, and it was mainly ultraviolet purple. There's some orange in this and ultraviolet tonight, but other colors. Previously, on December 31st, 28th, and the 14th, I also filmed this object. This is much different than the January 3rd, 2014 footage, but it is January of 2014, mid-January, and I'm filming this object that once again is gracing our skies. What could it be? I don't know. It's an unknown object. By looking at the mountains, let's say the object is about approximately, if I compare it with the mountains, about 18,000 feet in the sky. It's just hovering there, giving off brilliant different colors. Every time these UFOs appear in Nevada, I document the sightings, unless they're low in the sky and I can't film them. When they're higher in the sky, I'm able to go over, just over the mountain and try to get it. My neighborhood is also filled with smoke. There's dogs barking. There's like multiple people out down my street just looking up at the skies. There's a break in it. To the lower right, the corona does not fully go all the way through, which means this might be some kind of craft, because previous footage that I've had filmed, the corona wrapped around the entire object, but to the lower right, there's a break in that corona. The pulsating is slowing down. January again of 2014, mid-January. I'll make sure I put a date with this video when I upload it to YouTube and share it with the UFO community. But the Nevada lights have returned. Like I said, I skywatch every night, and I've spent a good, since January 3rd of 2014, I've been looking at the skies and there's been nothing up there. The only difference is the blue ultraviolet object I captured further to the right, about 3 miles to the right of this object, And this object resembles much like the December of 2013, December 14th, 28th. It's a similar object to that. Just a globe of pulsating light. There's something in the center of it, so it might be, I mean, you can see it might be a ship of some kind, an airship, and there might be a section of it that does not light up. See, December 14th of 2013 and the 28th, it's an equally distributed globe that gives off the light surrounding the object. On this object, this is much different than our New Year's 2013. This is different from our January 3rd, 2014 footage. This is an entirely different object in our sky. You can see it. It's patterns of pulsating change. And I bet you when I go inside and eat dinner, I'll come out and it'll be gone. It only usually stays in our skies, UFOs out here. Over the mountains, they'll stay for about 20 minutes to a half hour, and then they just blink out and you never see them. It's like they go off to orbit or land maybe behind the mountains or go further off behind the mountains. But you can see, I mean, it's giving off a lot of different color spectrums. And I'm sorry, it's shaky. I have no jacket. I'm barefoot, and I'm standing on icy concrete in 20-degree weather filming this. And people say, oh, you can get all dressed warm. Well, I didn't have time. I grabbed my cam and I ran outside to film this. And you can see to the right, there's a break that the corona does not completely go through the entire object. So somebody can't say it's a star or a planet because the light would be equal distributed, and obviously it would only flicker, maybe a star would flicker only a few colors. And a craft might have an area like a blind spot where the light doesn't get equally distributed, and that's what that break is. See, now the object's very white. It seems to change a lot of different colors. Sometimes it'll go to solid white for a while, and it'll start flickering some more. And it'll strobe, like, if you pay very close attention, it'll strobe off 10 to 12 colors. It's very high in sky, about 18,000 feet up. It's miles away, and it's hovering over the Sierra Mountain Range, right in that bend you see between Nevada and California. That is where it's hovering. An area I've done a lot of hiking in and found a lot of Bigfoot strangeness. I've always thought that maybe Bigfoot is more like an alien species, or maybe an alien pet. Maybe they scout the land, the lay of the land, and maybe they're just dropping off and picking up. Who knows? January, mid-January 2014. I'd like to know what that break is. Is it like some... Maybe this object is not spherical at all. Anyways, Maitreya star, it's supposed to be 5 giant motherships in our solar system, and it looks like a star, but it's actually a mothership with a lot of aliens and smaller UFOs on board that visit this planet quite frequently. Someone was telling me about it. They're like, it looks like a Maitreya star, but I'm not so sure. This object, I've caught multiple objects, and the only 2 are alike is December 14th and December 28th. The footage is the same. Then New Year's, it's a different craft. And then January 3rd of 2014, it's an entirely different object. And tonight, it's a different object. It has some... The corona does not fully go around the object, which means it may have... This object may be not spherical at all. It may have in the front of it, if you look carefully, it looks like it protrudes outwards. So like it has some kind of nose or pointed nose. It could be a government military craft, some test craft. It's too high to be a drone. It's an unidentified flying object. Could be alien, could be government. I don't know. I have a feeling if they're here tonight, then I will be spending the next month sky watching to see if I can catch the same object or different objects. Anyways, this is Lord Rick. Check us out at www.paranormalghostsociety.org. This is in Nevada, rural Nevada. Wow, look at all them colors. This is a beautiful object. Okay, I've started a whole new reel footage here, but I'm going to join them together. No, I don't play with the footage. What you see is what you get, even if it's shaky. I have very shaky hands or wrists because I have broken bone fragments in my neck, and so it shoots down into my fingers, so I have very poor nerves. That's why my filming at times is shaky. Everyone's like, get a tripod, and they just don't understand. We don't always have time to grab coats and shoes, and this object could be gone at any minute, so we have to get out there and we have to film it. It's just hovering. It's not doing much. But anyways, I want to believe, and I believe me, I do believe. I've seen some things over my years of doing UFO investigations, some very crazy things. But, you know, since in the last couple weeks, we've had a ton of activity over the Sierras. The object has gotten lower in the sky. I'm using the people walk in comparison to the object. It's just been an unbelievable 4 to 5 weeks of UFO activity, and it's not every night. It's been almost 11 days since we've had activity over this region of the Sierras. Now see, the object is white. But then when you look at it carefully, if you can take my video, take it by 0.3 increment seconds, and you will get a new color. You will get 3 colors a second. There's nothing like that, and you can see it's probably not a spherical object. There's a place where the light, the illumination around the object is not getting to, and that's that break in the lower right hand corner. See it? See the break? So it could be an object that has something protruding out. You know, you see sometimes these UFOs, they have other large things attached to them, and maybe whatever protrudes from the object, maybe that doesn't have any light on it. Hell, maybe some of their lights are burnt out, but it's not equally distributed. There's a break to the right. Very odd. Very different from December 14th, 28th, 31st, of 2013 and January 3rd of 2014. This is an entirely different object. Wow. I do believe. We all need to get some beers, start some barbecue, and have a UFO party. Amazing footage. This is Lord Rick. Okay, this is 10 minutes later. So obviously, you can see the object's up there. It's much higher. It actually came down over the top of the Sierra Nevadas, and now it's ascending back up into the sky. It's much higher than 18,000 feet. And this is just 5 minutes later. This thing's heading back off into orbit like it always does. You know, I'll film it for 15 minutes, go to the bathroom, go sit down out here and watch it for a little bit because my hands get tired holding the camera, and this thing will just immediately either black off or go to space. All of the objects have. Or they've just gotten out of range. But you can see it's still the same object. But notice how much higher in the sky it was from when I was filming before. Okay? And I'm going to show you. There's my roof. The street light in the house. There's where it was. And of course, I came out. I'm going to show you where I came. We have a few houses in this rural neighborhood. Okay, I came out here, and I stood in the driveway. There's the house where the people were walking. Notice, I mean, the object obviously has moved somewhat in the sky. And I'm not able to get in as close either, which means that it's moving away from us. Objects like this are not just seen here, but it can be seen from the Sacramento Valley probably as far as some of the central Nevada rural towns, as well as Reno and northern Nevada, because it's an object, it's higher in the sky, and it's pulsating, and it's, you know, you might walk past this object and you might think to yourself, hey, you know, maybe that's a star, because that's how it's meant to look. But when you zoom in and you see the break within the sphere, you know that this is not any normal space object. And it looks like it may be, in theory, an elongated ship. So that's why the light is somewhat not equally distributed towards the lower right. Because it could be an elongated ship and maybe the light's not reaching that area. But in other videos we have, you can use other videos from December of 2013 and January of 2014. You can compare this with other objects and you can see it's not the same thing. It's not even here. UFOs are not always over the mountains every night. You know, we have to sky watch and be aware. We have to be aware of what's in the skies. It's not a satellite. It's, you know, it's not a planet. It's not a star. We can rule this out. It's some craft, some anti-gravity craft hovering high in the sky. And it's, at one point, it was descending about 15 minutes ago, and now it's going higher up into the sky. But it's also going further out because I'm not able to get close-up footage like I was earlier. This is as close as I can get. It's giving off a lot more white as it's pulsating and getting higher in the sky. You can see it's further out. I cannot zoom in on it like I was earlier in the footage. So we know it's moving very slowly, but it's still a hovering object. And it's just moving across the night sky. The truth is out there. I do not believe we are alone. I believe this planet gets visited by thousands of UFOs a month. And I just think a lot of people don't look up, and sometimes people capture them in their cameras by accident, and other times, like in northern Nevada, when we're being hit with waves of UFOs and there's news stories across the nation, it's a good idea to keep an eye on your skies and film and document every single sighting. That's our goal, is to try to film and document all these northern Nevada strange lights in our sky. Take advantage of it now, because someday they may not come back here. This might be their last trip over the Sierras. Whether they're scanning the area, if it's an alien race, or maybe some government craft. I mean, Groom Lake's 5 hours south of here. I've also read, somebody had written me about some creature up in Fernley, Nevada. And Fernley had a lot of UFO sightings recently, so I'm thinking that this thing with the wings or whatever it is that's moving around might be some alien being in some kind of suit. And so far, 4 or 5 residents have seen it. And that's very rural as well. It's out in the middle of Nevada, northern rural Nevada. So there you go. There you have it, folks. Another UFO in mid-January of 2014. Wow. I'm not even zooming out. It's just going away from us. I'm very convinced that this is An unidentified flying object. I cannot identify it. UFO government craft or UFO alien craft. Either way, it's very fascinating to see in the skies. And it makes you wonder, with all these strange reports to the news and creatures in the desert being seen and high areas where UFO activity is present, makes you wonder. Anyways, this appears to be where it's hovering over is a very icy, snowy part of the Sierras. Most of the peaks are 10 to 12,000 feet. It's very rural, a lot of Bigfoot activity. There's a lot of trails that you have to take by foot or four-wheeler. It's an area that's known for its Sasquatch. It's over the high Sierras right now. And we are in the Sierra Triangle, which is the points of Las Vegas, Fresno, and Reno, Nevada. Very strange. They're back.